Morning, guys. So, welcome. Today's a new day. Market is about to open. CPI came out. Numbers look a little bit flat, but we're gonna see how the day turn out. We got 1 minute left before market open, but first I want to give God all the thanks and all the praise and all the glory for waking me up this morning, giving me the opportunity to trade and help others trade and make money as well. So, with that said, um, we're gonna get to it today. All right, we're gonna get to it today. You do this. Why is that not unmuting?
I'm not sure.
Mm. Is it only me and you? Yeah. All right. So let me just. I can't even click on that right now. All right. So the market open. All right. So coin did a gap, boy. Coin did a gap. Pretty upset about the coin situation because I've been talking about coin for the longest, and I even looked at coin and yeah, I'm not my internet is taking long to come up, which I don't like. Um I got kicked off. I think it's this. See how it's still spooning? Here, there. No, go down. Here where it says couldn't.
Your network, the internet. Something's going on with the internet.
Yeah, let me just do this. Quit that bad boy right there. Be done with that. All right. Gonna have to figure out something with that. Very sure I want to see. Cancel. Quit. Man, coin is moving. My internet is moving slow today, guys. Not sure why my internet is moving so slow. Let me do this. Close that. Am I on? I'm not on, right?
Your voice. No, you're not on.
There we go.
But your screen.
All right, guys. So I've been watching Apple. Apple right now just broke the day for a reversal to the upside. So I'm watching Apple right now. Let's see. Broke yesterday's high, bouncing off the 200 right here. I might be looking to take Apple to the upside, guys. Hmm? All right, guys. So I'm looking to get into Apple. I'm just waiting right here. Want to see a little bit of pullback right here on Apple.
He became a billionaire. What? A millionaire? Something.
Oh, I'm gonna jump in some Apple calls right here, guys.
All right, we're in. Dang it, I pushed off. Oh, he's so far. Yeah, 204. It's a 212.50. Like that. Damn, I pulled it.
I got BA.
Dang.
Apple pulling back. Who's on the D?
What?
The Discord.
No.
Fuck.
Look at all the time frames.
One arm broke to go down. A day. Fucking broke.
Yeah, but the 50% retracement is down at 209.
209. No, that made it 3. All right. much it dropped since? Two.
Um, from 204 to 135. Oh, I'm on 142.
Just gotta Google sell.
Did you?
Yeah,
Let me take that.
yeah.
Google what? Oh, one what?
175.50. So I just got an alert on Google. Guys, I know you just chiming in. I just got
175.
one no, not 175, 157.
50. Oh, okay.
157.50. So I just got my Google alert. My Google alert just went off. So anytime my Google alert go off, I normally take the trade on Google. So it give me a sell signal.
Okay.
So I just jumped into a Google puts, and I'm in Apple calls right now.
There's something big on Google, certain level.
Well, Google is right at yesterday's low. So it didn't break yesterday's low yet, which I was iffy about. But yes, the last time I didn't take my Google trade, it dropped $9. Well, not $9, $13. So I'm gonna learn to take my Google trades from now on. What's my average on um, for?
I need to put in my take profit already. I also have, right?
Hmm?
Half.
Yeah. All right. So for you guys who just joining in right now I'm in Apple calls and I'm in Google puts. Okay. So Google puts, I'm in Google puts and I'm in Apple calls
Okay. One gone.
on Google.
Yeah.
Okay. So Google, we're up at least 10% on Google already. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so we already scaled out of Google a little bit. So we still hold in contracts, but we always scale out at 10% on our contracts. We always sell some at that point. Google is dropping right now. Google should continue to fall. My first target on Google is going to be 57.10. Apple is pushing down. I'm looking for the bounce at 10 at 208, 209, basically my 50% line. You guys can't see my charts right now as far as on TikTok, but I promise you I tried putting it on TikTok this morning. It just wouldn't let me. So with that, we're up on Google. Google is still falling. Google is gonna come down to our first target at at 157. That's our first target on Google. Meanwhile, on Apple, Apple has dropped down to test that 50. I should have waited on Apple, but again, the reason why I jump into certain trades, I don't just jump into a trade just to jump in it. I have certain levels.
Can you go to Google on a small time frame for me? I don't want to look at it daily. Thanks.
Okay, so Google is coming down to,
I'm thinking about putting trends. Close
I
it.
mean, it can pop up back to here.
So what? You want me to do?
We have 5 seconds left in this candle.
Oh, I know how you feel about that. When I close before.
I'm not liking how Apple is looking.
Is it below the 200? It started.
Start at 200. We have the new 15 right now. Um, we have the new 15 right now on Apple.
I don't know how I feel about Google.
Google is probably gonna go up to VWAP and then reject.
Do you want to take that drawdown?
Um, if Apple breaks this 15, we're gonna close the calls. Even though the 50% is right there. So the 50% is right at 209. Um, so I'm in Apple calls. If anybody joining right now, I'm in Apple calls right now. If it breaks this 15, it could drop down to the 50 at 209 and bounce, but it could continue to drop. Um, but I'm watching that on here. With Google could pop up to right here at 150, 158.70 and then reject off of 158.70. It's in a buy zone right now, but Google broke the day to come down. So I'm looking at Google for 157 as for a target for Google. Make sure you put it at thing
What?
break even.
Well, I'm not. Yeah,
Huh?
I'm just getting out.
Well, just thing then. Let me see on a smaller time frame. It didn't reverse on a 5 minute. It's right here. So on Apple, Apple broke to the upside on the daily. But with this pullback it's doing, um, is it can pull back to the 50 and then bounce off the 50. But I just if it break this 15, then it could continue to drop. We have the support level right here. There's a lot of support at the 50. That's my thing. There's a lot of support at the 50. Um,
Took us out.
you put what do you do?
You said break even.
Were we down or something? It didn't break the 5.
It don't matter. You told me put a trailing stop. Guys gotta love being married and trading together, right?
Yo, yo,
I didn't want to, but that's what you said, and I'm following your
yeah.
rules.
Because you were saying something about you don't want it to go red. But I'm like, just pay attention to
Okay,
this.
pay attention to Apple, because now you're done with Google.
Mm. So guys, if you're just joining in, we had took Google puts. Google puts. If you're still holding Google puts, you should be good on Google puts. My wife put a trailing stop on Google puts, which I didn't want, but it's okay. Profit is profit. But Google is still dropping. Google, my first target on Google is 157. which Google is coming down to that target right there. On Apple, I have calls on Apple right now. I'm in Apple calls. So I got Apple calls at the top. So I'm down on my Apple calls right now. But I like Apple. It bounced right off the 50. In a sense, that's where I typically would have liked to get it. But the reason why I jump into Apple calls is because it came in, and when it opened, it went ahead and broke the day, which is what I was looking for. So once it broke the day, I got in it, right? But the perfect spot to I got it at is right here where it bounced off of it at what, 209, right? Right at the 50%. Now 209 is gonna be my stop in a sense, or just watching it as far as what it's gonna do, right? With this, it could shake people out because people were in calls in the beginning. It could shake people out, come down here, and then bounce off and continue up, or we could continue to fall. We're gonna see as far as that. Google right now is popping back up as well. Um, so we'll see. I like Apple to the upside. Coin, I talked about coin. Coin is up crazy right now. Coin is up crazy right now. Yeah, coin is up crazy right now. On the day, my target on the day was 225. It opened above that. Okay. So 225, I have that right there, but 225 was where the 200 is. It opened above the 200. So we're bullish on Bitcoin. So if you're bullish on Bitcoin, you should be bullish on coin. And I talk about Mara and I talk about Riot, being bullish on both of those as well. Oh, fuck. Um, Netflix is good to the upside too.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix just reversed as well. I was looking at Netflix.
You did your two trades for the day.
I know. I know.
One of the biggest things we've learned is not to over trade. Haven't you?
Yeah. Biggest thing, not over trading. So right now, I always say one trade is good, two trades is, is better, but three trades, you're trading too much. Okay. After three trades, I'll say after three trades, guys, you shouldn't be trading. No matter if you have three wins or not. If you have three wins, then why are you still trading at that point? Go enjoy the rest of your day. Okay. Go enjoy the rest of your day. But if you're talking about, all right, your first trade was a loss, then your second one you did good on, and then you want to make a third trade, all right, cool. But remember that when you start over trading is when you start making mistakes, and when you start trying to you get into that revenge trading type of attitude. So try to avoid that by simply stick to a trading plan. Once you have your trading plan, just say, listen, these are the stocks that I'm trading, or these are the setups that I like. And if I like these setups and it work or it looks good, my alerts go off, then I'm gonna take it. Like this morning, like if I'm two trades in and my Google alert pops up, I'm taking my Google alert. I don't care what I'm looking at. Anytime my Google alert pops up, I'm taking it. Okay. This morning, my Google alert popped up, took it, took my profit, then I'm done with that trade. Okay. Google now is popping back up, I believe. Let's see. But I did a short on Google. Right now I'm in Apple calls. But let me go back to Google chart. Yeah, Google. No, that's not Google. Yeah, but right now Google pop back up, right? So Google pop back up. So I'm out of Google right now. My wife got out a little early,
But he's happy that I got out though.
but hey, I would have told her to put a trailing stop at a certain point. But either
Y'all heard him say put a trailing stop,
yeah,
right?
I told her not to make it go. I told her not
Yes.
to make it go
Lower
um
than a certain level.
lower than a certain level. So
And that's what I
once
did.
we took profit, there's no sense of making a green trade go red. No matter what. Don't let a green trade go red. So with that, I told her, hey, put it at break even at least. Right. But I didn't expect that she was gonna close it at break even, right?
Right.
Just put it at break even. So when we drop down, then we still can take profit, right? But she closed it at break even. So we still took profit on the rest of the contracts. Google is popping back up. Didn't completely hit my entry, but from the time I called it out, that went up at
You got more
least.
than break even. See?
Oh, I got more than
Yeah.
all right, all right, all right, all right, cool, cool. All right, so right now we're in Apple calls right now. Apple bounced off of a nice level. That's where I would have loved to get it at. But again, the reason why I got into Apple when it broke the day high, previous day high. So that's why I got into Apple, right? I already had a setup for Apple. Now, with BA, BA was on my list to trade as well. BA is still pushing, but BA hit my target, right? BA hit my first target right here at 203. Now, what I saw with BA was we had a nice candle on BA from yesterday, which is BA, which is Boeing. If you guys don't know, BA is Boeing, right? So, had a nice candle on Boeing from yesterday. But the thing that I liked with Boeing that didn't happen with all the other stocks was that everything gapped up yesterday. Boeing gapped up, but it went down and closed the gap. Okay. So Boeing has no gap on the weekly, while everything else have gaps on the weekly. So in a sense, we can retrace back down. Okay. Even though we gap up and we look bullish, right? We're still in that week, so we could come back down, close the gap within that week, and then continue up Thursday, Friday, or so on. Because Thursday we have a lot of news. So today we have CPI. Didn't really do much. To my thing is like, it to me it didn't really do much. Um, all the other stocks, everything is just like kind of flat right now. Everything is kind of flat. Only thing that I really liked as a swing was I'm still in Adobe calls, by the way, guys. So Adobe, so I still like Adobe to the upside. A break of 290 a break of 398, and we're gonna see 400 followed by 405. A break on the high of Adobe. Man, coin is running.
Yeah, we talked about coin on the call.
So yeah. Yesterday I talked about coin on the call yesterday, and I told people about coin as far as swinging coin. Um, the crazy thing is, I looked at coin for the end of the month, for a swing on the end of the month. The reason why is because coin reversed on the monthly, right? So one thing is when y'all trading, you have to make sure that you're looking at certain things when you're trading, right? You got to pay attention to all your time frames. I always look at the monthly because once a new month start, you want to look at the monthly to see what's going on. Okay. Once that happens and you see a reversal on the monthly, if you're trading off the monthly, then you shouldn't be taking a week contract. Okay. If you're trading off the monthly, you want to take at least 2 months. You should be taking 2 months, two of whatever time frame you're trading on as a safety. But in a sense, you could put it a month out if you're trying to say, all right, it can happen in that time. But just know that it doesn't have to happen within that month. So one of the things I always say is if you're taking a trade on a weekly time frame, then you want to make sure that you're taking a contract at least 2 weeks out or 3 weeks out if you're taking it on a weekly time frame. If you're taking it on a monthly time frame, minimum, of course, you want to do at least a month, but you should be doing 2 3 months out minimum. On a day trade, if you're day trading, then you know if your trade is wrong. Okay, on day trades, you know if your trade is wrong. So at that point, you should be at least having some type of stop loss when it comes to day trading. Right now, it's 10 o'clock. We have, I'm still in Apple trades right now. I need to see a break of 210.40, a break of 210.41, and we're going to push to the upside. Now, I'm bullish on Apple for the simple fact that Apple broke day high, right? It came down, retraced down, bounce off of the 50. If it break the 50, then I'm out. I'm not even second guessing nothing. If it break the 50 low, I'm out, right? I'll cut whatever contracts I have. But a break above right here at 1040, 41, a break above 1041, so 1042, we're gonna push back up to day's high and continue up. Now on the day chart for Apple, the target is gonna be 1250. So we have 1250, not 12, 21250, 213. Uh, why is this not working? All right, so I have four levels. I have 21250, 212, 213, 21340, and then last 21450. So those are my targets for Apple, right? Need to see that break. If we come back down and break the low, then I'm out of Apple. How does the Adobe contracts look? Adobe look like it want to push to.
It's a gap.
Yeah, Adobe look like it want to push.
Well, I'm gonna need it to push.
Well, it should, but I feel like something is gonna. It's like the chicken or the egg, right? It's like the chicken or the egg. Which one is waiting on it? But the charts show that it's bullish. But I'm wondering if it's the news that's gonna let it pop. Like for instance, Bitcoin was bullish. We all know Bitcoin was bullish, but coin wasn't moving as much as Bitcoin. But then all of a sudden, you have that big spike today on coin. So why? Because of news. So sometimes it's like, does it wait on the news for it to pop even more? Um, so we're gonna see. Google reversed on a 15-minute to the upside. All right, so anybody that's joining in right now, I'm in Apple calls. Okay, I'm in Apple calls. A break of 1042. and Apple is going to push back up today's high. I'm sorry, a break of 210.42. We're 5 cents away. All right, we just broke. We just broke. So Apple just reversed on the 15-minute. So at this point, we should go back up today's high. And my first target is going to be 212.50 for Apple. My first target is going to be 212.50. So right now, if you're jumping in Apple, your first target should be days high at 211.57, right? 211.62 should be your first target. My first target, because I jumped in Apple a little bit earlier, so I'm down on my contracts, but my target, my first target is 212.50, followed by 213, 213.34, and then 214.50.
While this comes up, watch this real quick. Let me put something up.
Okay. Now the crazy thing is when I entered into Apple, I entered at the top, right? So the thing is, when it gets to the top, I might not even be in profit because the simple fact that with options, I always talk about this. So a little rundown for you guys that don't trade options, are thinking about getting in options, right? The price you entered at, a lot of times, if you have some kind of retracement, if price goes against you, then you're going to find yourself where the contract is going to drop in value. So when the price goes back up to where you entered at, you might not be at the same price as what it was when you first bought it. So that's why I tell people all the time, I said, listen, when you're taking profit, when you enter into a trade, make sure you're taking some type of profit. This is not Forex and this is not futures, okay? And I trade both. This is not Forex and this is not futures. You can't put a stop loss there and say, all right, this is the amount I'm losing. It doesn't work like that when it comes to options. If you're just letting price do its thing. Okay. So with this, the time is what kill your contract more than anything else. The time is gonna be the thing that kills your contract. So for me right now, time is killing my contract. Okay. So when it gets to the day high, I might not be right now. My average cost is 204. Right now, the contracts are at 172. Okay. My contracts that I bought is at 204. Right now, average at 272. 277. So price is pushing. So it's about 40 cents away from where I entered at. So I'm going to see by the time it gets to there if I'm going to even be at break even, right? Right now 283. Shit, I might I might I might. Contracts are moving pretty decent on these, right? Contracts are moving pretty decent. So if you had jumped in, right, when it break the 15, like when I called out just now, the contracts were at was at 141. The contracts were at 141. Right now, those contracts are at 190. So you would have been up 40%, give or take, right? 114. 50 cents. Yeah, so about 35%. You would have been up 35% if you had took the trade. Remember, I was down on these contracts. So if you had took that trade when it first broke the 15, you would have been up at least 35% right now, right? I'm getting close back to my break even level. My average contracts, my average on these are 202, right? I entered at daybreak, right? Once it break previous day high. I have certain things and certain reasons why I enter trades, right? My setup was if it break day high, then the next level was 1250, followed by um not 1250 but 21250, followed by 213, 213.34, and then 214.50, right? Those are my levels as far as for Apple. So right now, we're going to the upside as far as Apple. A little pullback right here because the 5 minute is about to end. All right, so we have a new 5 minute right in here. Um, so we're gonna see Google reverse back to the upside, right? Google reverse back to the upside on Google. Google target is basically 160 at this point. For my Adobe haven't broke day high yet. I'm in Adobe swings. If anybody want to jump into those Adobe swings, I bought Adobe. Hold on. No, it didn't break day high yet. But I bought Adobe swings. My Adobe swings is for April 30th. So April 30th, Adobe swings. Um, I have for April 30th, I have the 420 calls on Adobe. So if anybody want to jump into those, you could jump into those. Apple is looking good to the upside again. I'm down on my Apple contracts. Let me see what average cost is right now. 184. My average cost on the contracts. I have a 212. I have a 212.50 contract. I have I have 212.50 contract. Those contracts, my average cost is 202, 204. Sorry, 204. Right now, those contracts are 184. So should see a push at least back to day high right here, back to day high. When I entered because it broke day high. Okay, so right here, let me show you on the day. So I entered once I saw the reversal on the day high. Okay, so this right here broke for the day high. So my targets are right here. So you see the rejections. So I always target now. The first target should be up here at 213. What is that? 213.40 should be the first target based on the candles. But I always look left to see where were rejections, where we had rejections first, right? Before anything else. So you could see that we had a rejection right here. We have rejection right here. We have rejection up here. So that's why you have to pay attention to the left as well when you're trading. Now, of course, I look down here and I'm like, yo, down here was a bit was the level that you should have got in. But I didn't wait. The reason why I didn't wait for the first 15 minutes, if I had wait for the first 15 minutes of Apple, then I would have gotten down here. But because within the first 15 minutes it broke the day and it started right here, right? Price opened right here, right? Came down and then broke. So because price came down and broke, I got in because I wasn't expecting it to pull back all the way down. But because it pulled back, then all right, it pulled back. So now right here was, official place to get in at that point if you see the pullback, which it did a great bounce off the 50, and now going up. I have Adobe up as well. Like I said, I'm in Adobe calls. I'm in Adobe swings for 220 for April 30th. I might buy more and push it out more. Adobe earnings is going to be June 12th. So I might buy like June 13th contracts or the following week contracts as a swing and put it for 450. Go all the way out. Or I didn't even look at the contract to see what the contracts look like. But I'm expecting a good move on Adobe. Now we're above where I entered at. Okay. So just like I said, the first target was day high. We're coming up to day high right now. We have 3 seconds left in day high. We're not right at break even yet, but we're close to break even. Um, right now we should see a push right here. Should see a push right here. Want to see a break of the 15 and continue up. All right, here we go. Here we go on Apple. All right, we just broke. Come on. Came back in. Trying to keep myself calm. If I look at Haikanashi candles, I might keep myself calm. When in doubt, just look at Haikanashi candles to make yourself keep calm. But do I like trading on Haikanashi candles? I do not. It doesn't show you real price action, and by the time you look at it, you'll see that price already reversed. So you want to make sure that you're not if you're a new beginner trader, you don't want to trade based on Haikanashi candles. So Google just gave me a long alert. Google just gave me a long alert.
Yes, but we
So
have a cutoff.
so I have a cutoff though. So I already did my trades for the day, but Google just gave me a long alert. Shit.
So for those that might be interested,
So
go ahead and take that.
so yeah, so Google gave me a long alert. Damn it, man. That's money right there. All right, so right now we're in Apple trades as well. On Apple, almost back at break even on Apple. Um, shit, if y'all had joined me earlier, I told y'all to get Apple right at the bounce of the 50, at the reversal on the 15. The reversal on the 15 was the contracts were at 140. Right now the contracts are at 197. Okay, so that's to tell you how much difference in the contract is right there. Um, so my first target on Apple is going to be 212.50. Okay, my first target is going to be 212.50. I like to tell people, regardless of what my target is, make sure you're taking trims. So if you're in profit, you want to make sure that you're taking profit. I don't care what it is. Make sure that you're scaling out, taking some type of profit. Don't be greedy. Don't say, hey, George said the target is there, so I'm not gonna sell it till it get there. The thing is, it might get there later on in the day, and price might play around. So because price is playing around, then by time it get there, if it popped up and you was up 30%, you didn't take your profit. Now it retraced back, you're at break even. Go down a little bit more, now you're down 10%. So by time it get back up there, you're only up 10%. Or you might be at break even. Who knows? Because the time decay on contracts. So you want to make sure that you're taking profit when you're doing your trades. Okay. Right now we're looking good on Apple. Adobe. Adobe.
Yo, baby.
Yeah, Adobe. See, Adobe too. So I got couple things. But again, I'm not over trading. Ooh, what happened with AP AVP? Did that? Ooh,
Yep.
oh
Yo,
my
we talked about
gosh.
that last night too.
No, but this
No.
wasn't like that this morning.
Well, it pushed as an inside. If it broke,
Yeah.
it was gonna push.
Yeah, this is going. So AVP AVPT is a stock that I called out. I have it in my portfolio. Great stock to hold on to, not financial advice. Just putting that out there. But Uh, I've been in this for a while. This is when like SPACs, if anybody know about SPACs and all that stuff, this has been since SPACs came out. Has something to do with Microsoft. Make sure you do your own due diligence when you're buying stocks and holding on to them for long term. But yeah, I like that. Um, what is that? Oh, Apple coming back in. Not liking Apple, you know. Apple, what you doing, yo? What you doing, yo?
Thanks for sharing the live on TikTok.
Appreciate you. All right, so right here, we're in Apple calls, guys. Reminded you invite Cam to attend practice. Yeah, I did. Um,
Like he understood what you said. Yeah, I did. Y'all ever answer a text message in your head? That's funny.
All right, so right now, for you guys that are just joining the call, right now I'm in Apple calls. My first target is 212.50, followed by 213, 213.34, and then 214.50. Um, as far as Google, I did a Google puts earlier this morning. Google gave me my alert as far as for puts, and then took those puts, took profit on those, and now it gave me a call on Google. It just gave me an alert on Google. Oh shit! Look at this. Since the time it gave it to me,
Yep.
man. So Google gave me my alert. Anytime I get Google alerts, my wife says don't trade anything else but Google. Because a lot of times when I get my Google alerts, they're official, and it's like, all right, just take Google alerts. Take when you Google go off, you take your trades on Google. Right now, Google gave me a call, and Google is pushing right now. Okay, so seeing what's developing right here, I don't like the fact that Apple is coming back in. Look at Google. When did my alert go off for Google? 17. Google is up $1 since. You want to just play Google alerts?
Right? Oh, I know I can make money off of that.
You want to just play Google alerts, babe? Like, yo, this
That's why I said when those Google alerts go off, I'm throwing it back.
this
Get
hurt.
in and you get out.
Sticking to my trading plan as far as being disciplined, guys. That's one thing when you start trading is you have to be disciplined. Um, we already made a certain amount of trades for the day already. So because we made certain amount of trades for the day, then we I don't over trade. But damn it, we should make an exception for Google going forward. Um, but yeah, we have a trading plan and we stick to our trading plan. Um, Trading over three times for the day is too much trades. Okay, so because of that, we don't trade. I don't make over three trades for the day. No matter what, I'm not gonna do it. So we have our Google alert that went off um, at what 159.80, and now it's at 161.31 and pushing. So that kind of hurts, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm still in Apple. Um, Apple, I'm down in Apple, motherfucker. But I'm down in Apple right now. As far as the contracts,
I mean, you want to see it? Yes, you are. It's right here.
yeah. So I'm down on my Apple contracts right now.
For the moment.
Yo, yo, yo. That's just yo. Let me take it off of this because it's just gonna hurt looking at Google, seeing all that Google is doing right now.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yup.
You see that?
I see it. That little sucker is pushing.
You see that? And you told me not to do it. You told me not to do it.
It's okay.
It's all right though. We follow our trading plan. Stick to your trading plan, even when it hurts, even when you might be right. Sometimes you could be dead
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Okay? So make sure you stick to your trades. Right now we're in Apple calls.
Right now you're at break even. No. Yeah, you're about to break even.
Yeah, right now we're at break even on Apple calls. Been down for a minute. My target is 212.50. That's my first target.
But we always trim.
I always trim 10%. Um, I always trim at 10%. Okay. I always trim at 10%. I put that in as a rule. And I always talk about that rule too, right? Because if you look at it, if you take 10% profit every single day on your account, then think about the compounding of your account, right? 10% every day on $1,000. It might sound little for some, but it's a lot for many, right? If you go to a day job and you're getting paid $10 an hour, you're making less than $100 for that day, right? And you have to deal with people saying all type of foolishness, you're dealing with all kind of foolishness to begin with, right? Versus with this, if you have $1,000, you're making $1,000 trades and you're making 10% on that every single day. In 10 days you done doubled your account in 10 days, right? So those are things that you have to look at and say, listen, let me be diligent, right? Let me be diligent and not over trade, but also let me be diligent in taking profit. And when I say take profit at 10%, you're scaling out at 10%. So your first target could be 10% followed by 20 or 25 followed by whatever it is, but you want to just make sure that you're taking profit. And the reason why you're doing that is because eventually what's going to happen, you feel good when you take profits. No matter what, you're going to feel good when you take profits. The thing that happens is when you don't take profits. And when you don't take profits, being up for that much and don't take profits and price came back down, you're gonna be like, man, you get mad. You get mad as shit. So could you call my mom? Because my mom so yeah. Call her, make sure everything is good.
Oh, he's talking about flight. Let me find him.
All right, so we got 1 minute left in this 15-minute candle. We want to see a close above the day high. We want to see a close above the day high. Okay, a close above the day high and we'll be good.
Miss Rita. Sorry. Sheldon is on. Okay, yes. We'll do it after. All right. We'll call you back. Bye.
Her flight.
Yeah, she wants to make sure you check her rate.
Telling you, man. Like,
You
yo,
could swear it was an emergency.
yo. I'm like, yo.
I knew that's what it was.
I knew it too, but I'm like, yo, 3 times in a row. So my mom was calling, and I wasn't answering. She called 3 times in a row, which I'm like, all right. But she's also supposed to be coming up tomorrow, right? So with that, they want to make sure that I check them in their flights, which I will, but just not right now. All right, so here we go on Apple. Testing days high, right? So we tested yesterday high. So we're using yesterday high as a support. What I want to see is just use that using yesterday high as a support and then bounce back over that. A break below the 15, and I might trim my contracts. I just seeing it breaking. If it break this 15, yeah, it could come down. Yeah, it could come down and test the VWAP, but I rather take some off at that point. But I'm not expecting it to come down. Um, Again, I what I could do is when I want to keep calm, let me just put it on Haikanashi. Yeah, Haikanashi looks good.
Keep me calm.
Yeah. So when in doubt and you want to keep calm on a trade, just put it on Haikanashi, right? And then be like, is the Haikanashi green still green candles still push? All right, cool. I'm gonna stay in. It didn't turn red. It didn't turn red. But oh my gosh, look at Google. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Um, all right, so here we go on Apple. Need to push on Apple. We need to get a break on Apple. This two break previous 15 at 211.66. So looking for that break at 211.66. 20 cents away. Let's go, Apple.
It's gonna do it. Give it a sec.
Here we go. Here we go. Come on, Apple. 6 cents away. Come on. Don't, hey, 5 cents away. Let's break. Let's go. Let's go. This Haikanashi is good, man. This Haikanashi keeping me calm.
There you go. Now you're green again.
Green, 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 green. Green, 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 green. All right, guys. So we broke to the upside for Apple, like I've been talking about earlier. Now I'm in profit. I've been down for a little bit. But whoever that got in before me, or got in not before me, but got in after me, you guys should be up significantly. Okay. I called the contracts while they were at like down at 120, I believe, right down at the bottom. Then at 140 when it broke. Right now, the contracts are sitting at 212. The contracts are sitting at 212, right? My average cost on those contracts are 204. Okay. My average contracts are 204. Like to see Apple push. My first target on Apple is going to be 212.50. Okay, that's my first target on Apple, 212.50. Here we go. Nice push on Apple. Come on. Push right here. These pullbacks, man.
I know. Just give it to us
These damn
straight.
pullbacks. Just push. All right. So for those of you who are just joining in, I'm in Apple 212.50 calls. Um, Little over 5% in these contracts right now. Let's see on the lower time frame. Yeah. A little right area right there. But I like where it bounced off, like I was telling you guys right here at support. See where support it used yesterday's high. So it used yesterday high as support and bounce off support, broke the 15. So that's what I'm looking for. Okay. Now I want it to continue up. Okay. So we want this continuation up. First target is 212.50. Okay. 212.50 is first target. 212.50 is first target on Apple.
Thanks so much for the likes, TikTok.
212.50 is the first target on Apple. Google is already pushing. I told you
Google
guys
already
about
pushed
Google.
it.
Like, I get. My alert went off for Google. My wife said no. Um, that sounds weird.
He took Google
That sounds weird.
already
So I traded Google earlier because it gave me a
and took
short
profit.
and took profit on Google. So it gave me my short for a short alert on
I'm
Google.
trading with Apple right now with the 650. Oh, he's an Apple.
Okay. Okay, there you go. So I'm in Apple right now. With 650.
75 in there. Hey,
Yeah.
something is something.
Um
What is that?
oh.
Oh, there we go.
So I always say when in doubt when you're trading, sometimes if you want to keep yourself calm, I don't recommend trading with Icanashi. A lot of people trade with Icanashi because um,
This trend. I want
it's
to
they
see.
they follow the trend trading, which is good. You want to see what where the trend is going. So I use Hikanashi as far as where the trend is going. Hikanashi will keep me calm when I use Hikanashi, but I don't trade with Hikanashi. So if I'm in a trade and I'm seeing like this right now, chopping up and all that stuff, I'll go over to a Hikanashi and be like, all right, what is the Hikanashi doing? And then if I look at it and I see all green candles to the upside, all right, I keep a little bit calm. I look at the higher time frames. I'm like, all right, keep a little calm. On the 30-minute, all right, I'm gonna keep a little calm, right? Um, 5 minute, all right, keep a little calm right there. So I use the Haikanashi as a sense of, all right, to see where the trend is going. But what happens with Haikanashi is that when you trade with Haikanashi, you don't learn price action. Um, you don't learn price action with Haikanashi. So with that, you want to make sure that you're learning price action. So if there's a reversal, you will catch it a lot quicker on price action, learning from regular candles than if you would if you're trading on Haikanashi. You won't know because you're waiting until a candle turn red or whatever it is, depending on who teach you how to trade Haikanashi. But um, yeah, right now I'm in the Google, not Google calls. I should have been in Google calls, but I'm not. But okay. I'm gonna blame that on my wife.
I'll take it.
I'm gonna blame that on my wife. But we already had 1 for 1 on Google. Again, like I said, guys, with my Google alerts, I typically don't even hesitate. Once my Google alert comes up, I'm taking the trade. I've back tested my Google alerts, so once it comes up, I'm in no matter what. So this morning it gave me a Google alert to sell, and then I sold on the Google alert, took my profit on that, and then earlier it gave me now a call on Google. Now I saw the reversal, just to let you guys see for a little bit. I'm not gonna let y'all go crazy, but I saw the reversal on Google down here on the 15-minute. Right, we already been out of it because my wife put a trailing stop, but right here I saw the reversal on the 15-minute right here to go back up to the upside. So once it broke here, we know that the first target is going to be day high, which it went to day high, but it gave me my Google alert right up here at 1017. And then with that, Google has been pushing. So that's that on Google. Let me see where Apple is right now.
Just chilling. They need a push.
Last 4 minutes right now on Apple. Want to see this push to the upside on Apple, especially on a 15-minute candle. Need to see that push going up on Apple. If Apple continue um, to stay within this range right here, I'm not gonna like it. Um, I'm definitely not gonna like it. So need to see this push right here. 4 minutes left in the 15-minute candle. Um, a nice push breaking the current 15-minute high at 211.88, right? Breaking that high and going up to test 212 and follow up to 212 212.50. Now, if it come back in, I don't like it, but I might have to close because I don't want the drawdown on my contracts.
Damn, that was fast. I was about to say, let me put a little down something. Shit, move quick.
Yeah, see, it's coming back in, which I don't like. We're bullish though on the 1 hour. We're bullish on the 1 hour, but now we're closing back below day, and then we have prices dropping on all these right here. Prices coming down on Google.
City news. Was there news today? Any news?
News was this morning.
I was the only one. Oh,
Yeah,
damn it, spy.
fucking SPY was it too. SPY just
Spy first to
reversed.
come down on the 15.
Yeah, SPY just reversed on the 15 to come down.
Hmm.
Let's see. Let's see. Keep calm. Keep calm. Nope. Can't keep calm. Ah man. Ah man. So all right. So right now, still in Apple calls. I don't like how this 15-minute is closing. I need it to pop back up. I need to pop back up. Um, if it closes like this, and then yeah, I need it to pop back up and turn green. I need a green candle. I need a continuation of green candle. If it breaks this 15-minute low, if the new candle come in and break this 15-minute low, I'm closing my Apple calls. Even though I'm bullish on it, but we can come back down. Okay, so we could come back down. Um, we can come back down to VWAP, but we could also come back down to day low.
What yellow line is that? It's holding on to.
It's holding on yesterday's high.
Okay. Well, let's hope that it.
Now, if SPY breaks this 15-minute candle right here, SPY is gonna go to the fucking moon. SPY next target is probably gonna be 590. So yeah, so right now we're in limbo with Apple. SPY look like it wants to come down and test VWAP and then bounce off of VWAP. But got 34 seconds left in this candle. Here we go. Need to see a nice little pop on this. What the 5 minute look like? No, wrong chart. Mm, damn it, man. hate this shit. Fuck. All right, so if it breaks right here, if it breaks this 15, I'm gonna close it. And I know Apple always do this shit to me. Why you always do this shit to me? Spy's pushing back up. Let me see the push back up on this too. I feel like they know certain things, yo, and they just fuck with people. But either way, my trading plan sticks. If it breaks the low, then I'm out. Also, I'm gonna tell you guys to get into a play. If Spy breaks right here, if Spy breaks two
Five.
five, sorry, not two. If Spy breaks 557.26, Spy is a call. If five Spy breaks that level, you see. Yeah, we're coming back down. Take the contracts out that you already have set.
I do. I have them on all.
Oh. Could you mute your mic, please? All right, so right here, if it breaks a 15-minute, guys, I'm gonna close this Apple. I see, I see Spy coming down. Spy went and hit the body and reject off the body. So if it hit the body and reject off the body, if it breaks this 15-minute low, Spy is gonna drop back down to VWAP, at least down to VWAP, test VWAP and possibly bounce. But the target on Spy is gonna be 585.27, or right at VWAP. For Apple, Apple could retrace back down to VWAP, which is 210.65. I just don't want my contracts to be killed or drawn out in this. I rather take the small loss. If it reject right here and come back down, it could bounce off of VWAP or it could continue to come back down to the low. Okay, I'm not gonna take that risk. I rather just take the small loss on it and be done with it.
And we
Okay.
came back, y'all. So
Yeah,
those could have came to
I
profit
was
if
up
you needed
over
to.
5% on it, not much. See how it just did that quick shit. Um, see how it did that quick thing. It broke it, but it did that quick, like, yeah. So let me look at the lower time frame. So the lower time frame is right here. It did that quick thing. VWAP come down to VWAP 210.65. Fuck. All right, I'm gonna close. So I'm closing my Apple trades. I closed my Apple trades, guys. It
This was a
reversed.
small loss. It wasn't nothing big.
It reversed on a 15-minute. And look at that pop up right after. But I rather take that small loss than if it comes right back down. Right? It could come back when it reversed on the 15-minute. Like I said, I'll stick to my trading plan regardless. A lot of times, especially when you first start trading, what you'll do, you'll see something happening that goes against you, and then you're hoping that it'll come back up and it never come back up. Versus if you take the small loss, then you could live to trade another day. Okay? Be disciplined in your trade regardless. And this is the reason why I say when you're in profit to take profit. Because look at this. Apple is popping back up, right? Um, but that's why I also say when you're in profit, make sure you're taking profit. Motherfucker. So right here, Apple popping back up. I'm still in my Adobe. I'm still in my Adobe calls.
We took Google puts, made money on that. We
Yeah,
told you guys about Google calls.
calls.
Google
Yeah,
calls was a great one.
yeah. Google calls was an awesome call as well. Um, but Apple is still holding support on that on days high. So Apple is still holding support on days high. With that, Apple, like again, my first target for Apple is 212.50. Okay. So Apple is pushing back up. Man, I hate when that shit happen. Apple always do that to me. I have a love-hate relationship with Apple. So Apple is pushing back up. Once it broke, I'm like I'm out. So regardless, I don't want my contracts to get eaten up. If you're still in the trade, first target is gonna be 212.50. Make sure you guys are taking profit. Okay. Make sure that you guys are taking profit regardless. I was up on Apple and it didn't hit my 10% on Apple. So remember, I explained the trade to you. I got in a lot earlier at market open when I saw the break of the day. It reversed back, came all the way back down and hit on the 50. The 50 is where I would have liked to enter my trade, but because it broke the day high, I got in at that point because it broke the day high. So with that said, it retraced back down. My average contracts were 20 my average contracts were 204, right? The contracts came down to 120 on those contracts are probably a little bit below 120. The last one that I saw was 120. Then it came back up. It did a reversal on the 15-minute. The contracts at that point was at 140 once it did the reversal. And then price came back up. I called it out when it reversed at on the 15-minute at 140 again. So for the people that just joined the live and for the people that didn't jump in, then I said this is the opportunity for you to jump in at that point. So with that, you would have got, because I was up on my trade at that point. It went to 218 was the highest I saw on there. 218. Now my wife already have certain things set in place. So anytime we make a trade, she always put in to scale some of our contracts out at 10%, no matter what. Okay. It's a practice that we develop over time. Taking profits, it's a mental thing. So once you're taking profit, then you say, all right, once you take that profit, then you could go into your other trade, take another scale out of your trades that way. Right now, I like everything to the upside. I just hated the fact that it broke the 15 and I got out. Yeah, and it gave you a doji as well. So right now, the setup on that, man, and on that 5 minute that it closed, the 5 minute closed in a doji and it closed above day's high, previous day high. So right now it's using previous day high as support. That's telling us that, all right, yesterday was a resistance, but now yesterday's high. So yesterday's high was a resistance, and now yesterday's high is turning into a support. So with that, you have support, right? You have resistance that becomes support. So at that point, it's bouncing off of that level. If it doesn't close below that, then we again my target is 212.50. Any questions for me, guys? I got 5 minutes. My hard cutoff is at 11 o'clock. No matter what, my hard cutoff is at 11 o'clock. On SPY reverse on the 15 minute. So SPY reverse on the 15 minute to go up. So SPY should push back up to days high with a continuation up to 590 for SPY. Mm, did it do the reversal on a 5? Sure did. Yeah, Apple about to push right here if it doesn't come back in. And I laughed about the Haikanashi, right? But if I had the Haikanashi on, this is where if I had the Haikanashi on, I would have never got out the trade, right? Because the Haikanashi is still green, right? So those are things that when you trade with a Haikanashi, you could say, all right, the Haikanashi keeps you calm in a sense. That's what I'm using. Yeah, so if you use the Haikanashi keeps you more calm in your trades than if you use price action. Price action sometimes it can fake you out of your trades versus if you use Haikanashi, and I don't some people might say I'm saying it wrong. I don't care. You know what I meant. You know what I mean. But with Haikanashi, when you're trading with Haikanashi candles, then it keeps you a little bit more calm to the point where it'd be like, oh, candle didn't turn red, so I'm not getting out. Or, you just stay in your trades at that point, right? So any questions from me guys? I got 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes before I hop off. Again, I'm bullish on Apple, my Apple target. Now, if Apple closed like this, the unfortunate part is I don't force trades. And I'm gonna say this again. Once I make certain amount of trades for the day, I'm done. No matter if I see a good setup, no matter if I see something going on, I'm done. Because what we always gonna see certain setups and be like, oh man, this is a good setup, right? What if you're up? Because I've done it plenty of times, right? And this is where experience comes in. I've done it plenty of times where I'm up for the day, up very, very good, a lot, right? And then all of a sudden, oh, this you're done. Remember, you're done trading. You make enough money for the day, right? And then all of a sudden you say, oh man, my alert went off of this, or hey, shit, this is a nice setup. Let me go ahead and take the trade. And you took that trade, and now the trade go against you. And because you're up for the day, you start thinking, oh, you know what? Because I'm up this much for the day, I could take the loss. Or because I'm up much for the day, right? Even if this goes to shit, I'm still gonna make this amount. All type of stuff is gonna start coming in your head. Your mental is gonna be so fucked up that it's like, yo, you just needed to chill and not trade anymore, right? So for me, I've developed to the point where I'm glad in a sense I have somebody to trade with, which is my wife, right? I trade with my wife, so it kind of keep me in check and accountable. But sometimes people trade in groups, sometimes people take mentorship on, sometimes people trade with a tribe, so it keeps you check in certain ways, right? So you don't over trade. Once if you're trading with a group, if you're trading with a coach and that coach said, yo, he's not taking no more trade or she's not taking no more trades, and they get offline, close your damn computer, walk away, and go do something else. You made money for the day. Don't try to trade more, okay? Because what that's gonna do is you're gonna end up losing more money, or you're gonna lose all the profit that you just made, and then you're gonna be pissed off. You're gonna be mad and say, "This don't work. What am I doing?" You start second guessing yourself, all type of shit. I'm talking because we are all going to go through it. It's something that most of us gonna go through. The thing is, once you have a mentor, the mentor should be able to guide you in a way that you don't have to go through certain things. But for most traders are gonna go through that shit. And when you realize that mental is probably one of the most important and significant things that you have to do when you're trading, then that's it, right? What's good amount to put up to start with? because my $6 isn't doing nothing but adding cents. Laugh out loud. Um, a good amount to start with. It depends on what you're trading. Okay, so say for instance, if you're trading options, um, it just depends. 500 can be good. I've seen people that start with $100 to trade options. It just depends on what is it's good to start with. It's how much you're willing to lose. Okay, it's how much you're willing to lose. If you're using part of your mortgage money or your rent money, your car insurance money, trying to think that you're gonna flip the shit, then that might not work. You get what I'm saying? It's always how much you're willing to lose. So if you save up $50 or $100 and say, yo, $100 is all I got. Well, all you have to do is wait, and you could trade options with $100. You could trade stocks with $100. You're not gonna make as much trading the stocks. That's why people trade options. That's why people trade futures. That's why people trade all different type of stuff. Forex, because you can use leverage. When you're using stocks, you can't use any leverage, right? Unless you have a margin account. That's when you could use leverage, right? But for the most part, if you're starting out and you have even $100 in options, I'll say save up more, but you still can buy contracts. You could buy a Google contract, right? But the thing is, when you're buying those contracts, you can't buy at the money. You have to buy out the money. Okay. So I like to buy right at the money. Other people are going to say different things when they're trading. Okay. That's your style of trading. Okay. But the thing is, I like to trade at the money versus me trading $10, $20 out the money. If price moves towards it, yeah, it might change a little bit, but what's going to hurt is when price moves against it, right? What's going to hurt the most is when price moves against it, because when price moves against it, that contract will get eaten up a lot faster than when it moves towards the price. So you have to pay attention to certain things when you're trading. If you want to chance it and say, listen, I'm gonna get $100, I'm gonna put it in the account, then look at certain trades. Or what you might do is just look at swing trades, right? Say for instance, I think my average contract on my Adobe calls that I have, my average contract is 135, right? That's June 30th. Okay. Not June 30th. May 30th, my average contract on Adobe calls is 130. Okay. They're out the money. So it's at my calls is at 420. It's a 420 call at the money, right? Um, Out the money, 420 out the money. But it's 135 for my contracts. So that's where you have to say, all right, that's sitting there and you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait because it's a swing trade, right? I bought that when it was at 180, 384. Right now it's at 394, 397, and I'm still close to break even. I don't even know where the contract is right now. But once we break above 400, I know this shit gonna push. Okay. We're stagnant right around that $400 level. But once Adobe breaks over that $400, we're gonna see a major push in Adobe. Right now, Adobe is at day high again. We're looking for Adobe to break that and continue up. Adobe is bullish on all time frames to me. We're hitting yesterday's high. We're hitting yesterday's high. We broke yesterday's high already, right? So the next level for me on Adobe is 400, followed by 404, 405, and then 410, and then all the way up. So I have time on my contracts, right? So maybe for you, if you say, listen, you know what, the $6 is not gonna work, um, and you say, listen, I wanna try flip 100 tomorrow, but I don't know if it's worth it. Um, in a sense, um, I'll say this, man. Don't come in with the intention of, all right, I'm gonna get rich with $100. Okay. I don't know nobody financial situation or nothing, but never come into trading and think that you're gonna get rich. It's the quickest way for you to get slapped. The quickest way. I remember when I first started. Now I've been trading for a while. I've been trading for a very long time. Okay. So I've learned situations over time. So in a sense, when you get a good trade and you make 10 grand on a day, you walk into to the dealership looking for new cars and shit, right? But then afterwards, you could get slapped. The next day you go and you build in confidence, and then you start risking more. And then when you risk more, you lose more. So you kind of deviate from your trading plan. So that's why even right now, I'm very disciplined with no more than three trades. It's cause I gamble a lot of money rooms. It's cause I gamble a lot of money rooms. But I'd rather trade stocks with my money I gamble with. Well, in a sense, then I don't even know. I don't even know what to say to that more than um some people will look at stocks as gambling, man. Some people will look at it like it's a job, right? But for me, it's not gambling. I'm entering into trades based on certain things, based on my levels that I put up, based on probabilities. Okay. For some people, they might say, listen, you know what? I'm gonna pick this stock today and hope it goes to this amount. No, that's not how I trade. Okay. Um, Adobe just broke their high. So Adobe is gonna push the 400. Fuck, man. And this is what I'm saying because I'm seeing certain things happening and I know Adobe is gonna go to 400, but I'm not gonna trade it. I'm gonna just move away from the computer. So my hard stop is at um like I want to make profit of what I'm spending. You can make profit, and you will make profit. You just have to know when to take your profit. A lot of people that gamble, they don't know when to take profit, and I'll say that because I used to gamble, right? And I start my gambling a lot younger than a lot of people, right? Um, I start so my I used to get my ass whooped for gambling. My pops used to he used to whoop my ass for gambling, okay? Um so I'm from Jamaica. So growing up in Jamaica, we gamble all type of stuff, different stuff. And we used to do some and the worst type of gambling is when you put up shit that you don't have. So when we were gambling, we used to have lunch money. We used to put up our lunch money when we didn't even have our lunch money yet, right? And then it got bad to the point where then they're coming to my parents saying, "Yo, he owed me money and he haven't paid me my money." Now, bear in mind, I'm about 6'7", right? That's those times, right? But it's just what I've seen is that when people go into certain things, they don't know when you gamble a lot, you go to the point where you don't know where to take profit or you don't know where to stop. Okay? And that can be very dangerous because for someone they could be up 100%, right? And then they don't take the profit. Why? Because I know. I used to do the same shit because I'm like, all right, it didn't hit my target. It's up 100%. I'm gonna leave it and I walk away, not knowing at the time that options is different from forex, options is different from fucking crypto, options is different from futures, options is just different. So when you leave something, you're up 100%. When you come back and price pull back, you might be up 10%. So it's best if you compound on your profits more than you say, listen, you know what? I'm going to wait till this go to the moon. This ain't crypto. Okay, crypto that can happen. You could, if you want to go gamble your money with crypto. At least at that point, you put $100 in something, and it can turn into $1 million. Okay, but in the stock market, $100 is not gonna get you rich. You will make money on it, but what return are you looking for, right? People that trade are people that are looking for returns. Some of those same people have thousands of dollars in their bank account and they're not asking the banks for no fucking returns, which blows my damn mind. They're not asking the bank for no returns, but then they come on a stage of they see somebody trading and they're asking them to help them trade and make some crazy returns. You have to be disciplined enough to say, all right, where am I taking profit? Why am I taking profit? and all that other stuff. You have to ask yourself some questions. Now, if you have the mentorship and you have the guide, then they help you with that in the sense that, listen, with me at 10%, I'm cutting. At 10%, I start trimming my trades. Okay. Um, and then from there, I keep cutting and I keep cutting. I keep scaling out my trades. So at any point, you don't feel like you're losing every single trade because it didn't hit your target and you didn't make any money. Regardless, when you scale out of your trades, you still feel like you won something. So the next day when you start trading, hey, listen, same concept, and you're not over trading, right? With that, guys, I'm over by 10 minutes. All right, so with that, I'm gonna be back on the live. um I want to start doing market analysis later on in the evening on TikTok. Listen, with TikTok, it's been giving me problems. I'm not gonna lie with you guys, right? So it's been giving me problems as far as um going live so I could show my screen in the mornings. I'm not sure what's going on, but in the evenings I probably will come on and show my screen then. So because right now I have a lot of stuff streaming. So I have my Discord that I'm streaming in, I have my YouTube that I'm streaming on, and then I have also TikTok. So if anything, if you're not following me on YouTube, go ahead and follow me. It's official George Trades. Make sure you follow me on YouTube, official George Trades. All right. Hey, God bless you too, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow. God's willing. All right. Y'all have a blessed one.